Have you ever heard someone say, cook it in tallow, only for someone else to fire back, just use lard? It sounds like they are talking about the exact same animal fat, merely a difference in the name. At first glance, both are white, soft, and heavily used for cooking. But in reality, the fundamental difference between them was once so profoundly important that it literally shaped the culinary world, the candle-making industry, and even early American manufacturing. So, what exactly is the real difference? Tallow and lard come from two completely different animals. Tallow is typically rendered from beef fat, specifically the suet, heavily encasing the cow's kidneys and loins, which is widely considered the absolute purest form of the fat. Meanwhile, lard comes straight from a pig, and its absolute highest, premium tier is known as leaf lard, sourced directly from the soft, visceral fat deposited around the pig's kidneys. It sounds like an incredibly minor distinction, just beef versus pork. Right, but that exact difference fundamentally changes almost everything. The flavor profile, the texture, the cooking applications, even their entire cultural history. Tallow boasts a highly distinct aroma, deep, slightly meaty, sometimes carrying fleeting, subtle notes reminiscent of browned butter with a hard sear. It almost always leaves its unmistakable fingerprint right on the dish. Lard is the exact opposite. If rendered correctly, it is almost completely neutral, soft, mild, slightly sweet, and it absolutely does not overpower the other ingredients. That is exactly why many old-school American chefs view lard as a strictly guarded baking secret rather than just a standard cooking fat. And then there is the texture. At room temperature, tallow is significantly harder and far more brittle, almost identical to candle wax. Meanwhile, lard is drastically softer and smoother. It is almost spreadable, exactly like cold butter. That discrepancy is absolutely not a coincidence. Tallow packs an incredibly high percentage of saturated fat, hovering right over 50%. That exact chemical makeup is what makes it spectacularly stable under massive heat and causes it to melt much slower. Lard, on the other hand, contains a much higher concentration of monounsaturated fats, bearing a chemical structure closely resembling olive oil. That is exactly why it is noticeably softer. And here's the fascinating part. Just by watching exactly how they melt, we will know instantly which fat belongs to which dish. These two fats literally ran the entirety of American life. Today, we tend to think of animal fat as something strictly reserved for old-school, vintage recipes. But long before vegetable oils flooded every corner of the market, tallow and lard were the absolute bedrock of the American kitchen. Without them, countless everyday necessities would have completely ceased to function. Lard made its prominent appearance in biscuits, pie crusts, delicate pastries, and practically every single southern kitchen across the United States. People kept massive buckets of lard tucked away in their pantries, exactly the same way we store bottles of cooking oil today. And what about tallow? Tallow traveled far beyond the kitchen walls. It was historically poured to forge candles because it burned remarkably long and held its structural form flawlessly. It showed up in soap making, leather treatments, wagon wheel grease, and even heavy industrial lubricants. That's right, a massive fraction of the American Industrial Revolution was literally powered by beef fat. And it turns out, tallow possesses a highly bizarre property. It is not easily washed away when exposed to harsh, aggressive detergents. That is exactly why commercial food processing plants historically utilized it as a much safer industrial lubricant compared to petroleum. Sounds absolutely wild, right? Something that once sat sizzling in a frying pan was also actively churning deep inside heavy industrial machinery. But to truly understand exactly why Americans placed such unwavering trust in these two fats, we have to rewind to how they physically react when hit with heat. Because this is exactly where the true difference violently emerges. Tallow and lard do not merely deliver vastly different flavor profiles. They physically react to heat in two entirely distinct, separate ways. Tallow boasts an exceptionally high smoke point, hovering right around 400 to 420 degrees Fahrenheit. That makes it seemingly born specifically for aggressive deep frying and high-heat searing. And when you fry up potatoes or sear a steak using beef tallow, it forges an unbelievably shattered, crispy crust, packing a profoundly deep, savory punch. That is not just some culinary imagination. McDonald's was famously known for deep frying their French fries in pure beef tallow throughout their first several decades. Countless older Americans still firmly declare that the fries back in that era carried a much deeper, realer flavor profile than they do today. And then, everything changed. Back around the 1980s and 90s, buckling under the crushing pressure of the anti-cholesterol wave, McDonald's violently stripped away the tallow and pivoted straight to vegetable shortening laced with artificial trans fats. It sounded vastly healthier at the time, but the brutal irony is, trans fats were later scientifically proven to be exponentially more dangerous than the naturally occurring saturated fats found right inside tallow. Utterly bizarre, isn't it? The entire United States literally permanently altered the flavor of its food based on an absolute nutritional panic that remains heavily debated to this very day. Meanwhile, lard traveled down a completely different path. It isn't famous for its shatteringly crispy crunch. It is legendary for its texture. The large, supple fat crystals locked inside lard help pastry dough separate into spectacularly beautiful layers when baked. That is exactly why a pie crust crafted from pure leaf lard is typically so mind-blowingly flaky that it practically melts the exact second you bite into it. Many old-school pastry chefs still absolutely swear that no modern laboratory-made shortening can ever flawlessly replicate that specific texture. And to be perfectly honest, they're probably right. If lard was once so incredibly ubiquitous, why did it disappear? This is exactly where the story shifts from traditional cooking straight into the American commercial food industry. In the early 20th century, massive food corporations actively began searching for ways to replace animal fats with something far more stable, significantly cheaper, and vastly easier to mass produce. And then, Crisco emerged. A hydrogenated shortening heavily promoted as the modern and cleaner version of lard. It was aggressively marketed as a cholesterol-free alternative, perfectly tailored for the future of a modern America. And that campaign succeeded beyond anyone's wildest imagination. In just a few short decades, countless American families began viewing lard as a wildly outdated relic, perhaps even a bit unhealthy. But here is the highly controversial part. Crisco was, in reality, a heavily hydrogenated product, and over time, multiple scientific studies began linking artificial trans fats to cardiovascular issues that were exponentially more severe than anyone had previously thought. Meanwhile, all natural lard contains absolutely zero artificial industrial trans fats. History sometimes operates in incredibly bizarre ways. A traditional ingredient was brutally replaced by something deemed far more progressive, only for people, many years later, to begin desperately pivoting right back to the original. But the absolute quality of modern lard isn't exactly what it used to be either, especially within the industrial factory farming system. Many CAFO, concentrated animal feeding operation, farms raise pigs entirely indoors, with practically zero exposure to natural sunlight. That drastically alters the nutritional quality of the fat layer. And here's something very few people actually know. Lard sourced directly from pasture-raised pigs is actually one of the absolute largest natural sources of vitamin D in the entire world. second only to cod liver oil. It sounds genuinely unbelievable. An ingredient once universally dismissed as junk fat was literally a colossal, all-natural vitamin. Today, animal fats are staging a rather quiet, stealthy comeback, completely unannounced, but incredibly real. You will spot beef tallow creeping back into barbecue culture, artisan craft burger shops, and high-end steakhouses desperately trying to resurrect that old-school flavor. Some chains, like Steak and Shake, have even reverted to deep frying their fries in pure beef tallow to flawlessly revive that vintage texture. And then there is skincare. That's right, skincare. Modern tallow is being aggressively hunted down by all natural cosmetics brands because its fatty acid profile is incredibly identical to the natural sebum found right on human skin. It forges a thick, highly stable moisturizing barrier, making it exceptionally perfect for dry or deeply cracked skin. Lard, on the other hand, is softer and absorbs significantly faster. Several traditional soap makers still utilize it specifically for eczema or highly sensitive skin, because it boasts a much higher volume of oleic acid. It sounds incredibly archaic, yet oddly modern at the exact same time. And that is the absolute most fascinating thing about tallow and lard. They never truly vanished. They were merely temporarily shoved to the margins, while America was violently swept up in the era of industrial food and ultra-processed seed oils. Now, as countless people actively begin seeking a return to traditional cooking, regenerative farming, and nose-to-tail eating, animal fats are stepping right back into the spotlight. Not as some fleeting new trend, but as something profoundly old that is actively being rediscovered. This isn't merely a story about beef fat and pork fat. In reality, it flawlessly reflects exactly how the United States has evolved over multiple generations. Tallow is deeply anchored to sprawling cattle economies, rugged frontier cooking, and early heavy industrialization. Lard is inextricably tied to family baking, iconic southern kitchens, and the widespread hog farming culture stretching across rural America. And then, industrial food violently emerged. Vegetable shortenings completely overhauled the pantries of millions of families. Deep-seated fears regarding cholesterol drastically altered the way people viewed animal fats. And in just a few short decades, ingredients that were once incredibly ordinary suddenly morphed into something completely obsolete. But history rarely travels in a straight line. Today, a staggering number of people are actively pivoting back to those ancient methods, not just for the flavor, not just for the nostalgia, but because they desperately want to understand exactly where their food truly comes from. And perhaps that is the absolute most fascinating takeaway from this entire saga. A jar of tallow, a tub of lard. It sounds so incredibly insignificant, but standing right behind them are hundreds of years of animal husbandry, relentless commerce, the booming commercial food industry, and the constantly fluctuating beliefs surrounding human health. Therefore, the true difference between tallow and lard was never just about beef versus pork. It is the literal story of how humanity cooks, preserves its food, and constantly adapts to an ever-changing America. One actively illuminated entire rooms as candles. The other forged those legendary, shatteringly flaky pie crusts of the Deep South. And even though they were once almost entirely erased from the modern kitchen, both are silently making their return. Because sometimes, the absolute oldest things actually preserve the greatest amount of history.